There was like a weird orange glow on my face when I turned on the lamp. So I thought it was weird, so I turned them on, but then like it's still too fucking dark.
Yeah.
You know, I have to say that's so bad for you. And with that, hello everyone, and welcome to the AWKWARDCast. And Ninja and Emerald and Keyframe talk about random dribble. Now you may be wondering, where is that little ringing noise that you consistently hear in the AWKWARDCast, the one that is shrill and annoying and bespeckled. Well,
Well, that's the host for this week.
yeah,
Crazy.
well, without the bespeckled part. But no, ANY is currently on vacation at a con right now, and I'm sure he'll talk about it next week, about dressing up as Star-Lord and defeating cosplayed aliens or whatever, I don't know. But till then, it is me, Keyframe, and our good old veterans of the AWKWARDcast, British Ninja and Emerald Comet. Hello, guys.
Hello. And he chooses not to respond.
Yeah, he's too cool to respond. So, because... Oh, he's doing that thing again. Anyway, Emerald,
He's doing it.
how was your week? Tell us about what's been going on in the life of Emerald Comet.
In relation to most other weeks, not and he's doing it again. in relation to like most other weeks, not that much. We are on wind down time on at college, where we've shot a whole bunch of dramas, fiction stuff. We're editing all that together at the moment. So very, very soon, some stuff that I've some actual proper film that I've worked on is going to be coming to either YouTube or the hipster-ridden site that is Vimeo. Or and stuff like that, yeah. So when the time comes and those movies are up, people can go check them out and all that kind of thing. But other than that, not really a lot else. It's been fairly quiet. It was sunny over here for a change. I'd forgotten what the sun looked. I'd forgotten what the sun looked like. So that was cool. Like sitting outside, thinking to myself, "God damn, it's great to be me right now." And then I remembered like all the depressing things inside my brain, and it was like, oh, okay. But no, it was good while it lasted. It's still all right out. But yeah, that was the extent of my week anyway.
Oh, well, quick and to the point. I like that. What about you, Mr. British Ninja? What has been the life of a gymnast ninja video game person?
Life of a gymnast video game person has been busy. It's been, I guess, opposite. It's been crunch time over here, where the deadline's coming up, stuff like that. I made the very bad mistake of taking a break over Easter and trying to work from home. My laptop didn't work, so when I actually came back from Easter, I had a crap load of work to do, and that's all done now. I have an evaluation to write, but after that, then my first year of uni's done. So it's been a very stressful week. I've worked from 9 till 9. Shifts, I guess, at the Games Academy, but the game looks great. Hopefully, I might be able to show it off a little bit today, and yeah, life's going good. I bought myself a lot of cider for a present.
I just had a terrible realization right now.
What's up?
How old are you, Ninja?
I'm 18.
How old are you, Emerald?
I'm 19.
I'm the oldest person here. I am the ANY. I'm the grandma. No.
You're so old.
I'm the one who's not in school with a full-time job.
So old. Like,
how do, fellow kid? That's you. You're Steve Buscemi now.
I think I can see some gray mixing in with those red hairs.
Oh, don't look. My mom's side of the my mom's side of the family actually has a gene that I hope I don't have, where they start to get gray hair early in life. I don't want that, so don't even joke about that. Wait, hold on. I have the perfect thing, though. How do, fellow kids?
And I'm done.
Wait, oh, that's Nape Vation. How do, fellow kids? This red hair doesn't help. Also, this is even worse. This is a Beatles baseball cap.
Wonderful.
Putting up with you two is... I hope you appreciate it.
Delightful.
But besides that, Ninja, sorry to interrupt, was there anything else going on in your week? I'm planning to talk about D&D in my week, too, so...
Yeah, I mean, got to play D&D. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I did get some new D&D dice, actually, over the Easter break.
Let's
which
see
are
if we're show and
absolutely
tell.
amazing. I mean, bugger, I'd have to. It's all going to crap. Dang it.
Welcome to the AWKWARDCast.
So I guess some of my one of my favorite ones are these kind of dice. It's white and gold dice. It is beautiful. The camera isn't doing much justice with the resolution there.
I'm understanding it's probably. Oh, there we go. It's focusing in. Oh,
Yeah.
So it's like marble, and then there's.
Yeah,
then it's like
I've got
gold.
marble. I've got like magma colored ones. I have this beautiful like blue set that's jade. I bought a giant set of of like D&D dice, and they're beautiful. And they like match all the cameras, and yeah, it's just been all great.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm a responsible adult, and I willingly, with my responsible adult disposable income, bought a Lucio crop top the other day. It'll take, and it looks like the top he wears in the game. It'll take about 4 weeks to come here because it's made for order. I don't care.
Well, in celebration of finishing the game, my responsible adult with a very tiny amount of money, might I add you, barely able to afford food, bought a giant bottle of Malibu coconut rum. Yeah.
You could do so much better than like any other kind of rum, and that's what you go with.
Hey man, the trashier it is, the better you feel.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. If ever you two are over here, you need to try my Long Island iced teas.
I love Long Island iced teas. I would love that.
I wouldn't mind that. That sounds great.
The way I make them, it's like you probably will be knocked out.
Okay, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna say this in the chat before I move on to my week, because ANY is just being like weak frame. I wasn't the one who spent like what $50 on a TARDIS bathrobe. At least my Lucio top, which was only $30, mind you, can be worn outside of my own home.
I like to think that everybody has like that one piece of like geek paraphernalia that like cost them a shit ton of money though. Everybody's gotta have one of those.
Yeah, ANY has at least 3.
You know what's dumb? Mine isn't even like actual paraphernalia. My geek spending was TF2 hats, because I used to be obsessed with TF2. I have like over 2,000 hours in that game. Like I used to play that non-stop, and I did break under the microtransactions, and I bought unusual hats which were like cost up to £100. That was like all my birthday money
I'm not
gone.
the saddest person in this chat, in this call anymore. Anyway,
it was a cool hat, damn it! It wasn't sad.
I'm sure it was.
I promise it was totally worth £100.
I'm sure it was. I'm
sorry, I just got fact checked. Apparently, excuse me, my TARDIS bathrobe was €80. That doesn't make it better.
That's a lot. That's no. You can buy like con tickets for less than that.
Yeah, CoxCon tickets are not even that much. But
speaking of which,
yeah. Anyway, Anyway, my week has been full of work. This has been a week. Let's just put it like that. But no, I've been working on stuff for DA Games. We're making a greatest hits album, and I'm doing the artwork for the front cover and the back cover because I'm the merchandise person. So I'm very happy.
Nice.
And got some shirt designs done, working on other pieces, stuff to actually submit to furry art shows, because my furry friends are like, you should do that, and I'm like, I don't know, and they're like, you could submit NSFW, and I'm like, hell yeah!
Oh, please stop making that face, British.
Well, at least it was not the €180 like my Star-Lord jacket. That's why I said you have more than one. And that's why you shouldn't judge me for buying a Lucio crop top. But besides that, just kind of doing IRL stuff, IRL adult stuff, and that's interesting. But then yesterday we did D&D, the Curse of Strahd, on Josh Scorcher's channel. And let me just say this, sometimes I'm a little bit on and off with D&D, mostly just because hours long, and I'm in that state mentally where I get exhausted very quickly. But this was one of the times where I wasn't. It was just a huge role-playing episode, like just a bunch of character development and stuff. And it was so much fun. Josh did put things into my character that I didn't ask for, and I didn't know, but man, it was cool. Like, because my character is a bard named Jade, who doesn't have much memory about her past, who apparently now has a legendary sun sword that talks to her, that I named Greg. He is Greg the Sun Sword.
Greg.
And apparently was owned by the brother of the villain, Strahd, in this.
Of the main campaign.
Of the main campaign. And also potentially has a sister who is the person Strahd keeps trying to go after. I don't know. Everyone's like, oh, Jade's the chosen one, or Jade is the most cursed person in this entire game.
Pretty much. I'm not gonna lie. When you picked up the Sun Sword, part of me, like, outside of the game, because inside the game, I'm cool with it. You have fun. Outside of the game, you're a bard wielding an amazing... What are you doing?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but to me, that's the fun of D&D, is that you...
That is the fun. That is the perfect fun of D&D. The fact that, like, the story just made more sense for the bard, even though you're horribly improficient with the weapon. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, no offense to Jay,
I know. The class-wise, the bard should not be wielding a sun sword.
Class-wise, that sword has Paladin written all over it.
All along the side of it.
But no,
I like to imagine just in the heat of battle, you just draw it. It's like, all right, guys, we got this, and you pull it back, and you just overbalance and fall over.
And here's the weird thing: like, there was a training session in yesterday's campaign, and for some reason, I was just getting really high rolls, and I'm like,
yeah,
this is getting spoopy. But
if I ran that session, I would have used your actual modifiers. Like Josh made you and Silver roll D20 plus 5. Mm-hmm. I guess that was just a general thing, but I bet if you used the actual modifiers... Well, actually, no, you rolled really high anyway, so
I was rolling like 20... I was rolling near 20s. It wasn't like I was doing anything middle of the road. But it was such a fun session. It was one of my... Because whenever I do these role-playing games, my favorite part is the actual role-play aspect. When you're someone whose job is to make characters and stories, this is so much fun to actually act as the characters. And... the narcissistic part of me, I love seeing the audience react to the fact that I can improv, because not a lot of people know the reviewers' improving skills, because, well, we're reviewers, we script things. But they don't, when they see that we can actually do things on our feet and not break character, it's super cool. And it's especially fun when you have someone like this guy up here and Silverquill, who are also good at improving and interacting with each other. It was so much fun. It was definitely the highlight of my day yesterday, and yesterday was stressful, so it was definitely a great thing.
I'm seeing some stuff in the chat, so allow me to clarify. It's not that she can't use the sword well. It's that everything in her skill set says no. Like, she is a Lawmaster Bard, which is like a full spellcaster class, you know. And she's going into melee combat when she is made of squish. So
I mean,
and I find it funny. I find it really funny.
This is a good image, isn't it?
Yeah, and
it's like.
Yeah, and Jade is a very weird character in general. Like, she just gets, as it gets progressively on, more of her actual mind and not the Cuckoo Lander comes in, and she gets really angry. One person in the chat actually asked, is she a bard mixed with a barbarian because she gets really angry? And I'm like, that's actually not a bad idea.
I wouldn't be shocked if you took... I wouldn't be shocked if you took a level of barbarian or fighter, especially fighter, but...
Yeah, but and also one of the things that I've chosen was I can master 2 things from any class, which is, I haven't implemented it yet, but it's going to be fun. But that was my week. That was all of our week. So I guess I will transition very seamlessly onto the medias.
Hey.
Here's the thing. I have the memory of a walnut, so I don't remember if I've said this show as a media already, but I'm going to talk about it again, because I like it. I have been watching a lot of Cartoon Network stuff over the past few days when I'm tired, and one of the shows I've been watching a lot of is Craig of the Creek. And sorry, Ninja, you are covered up, so you can piss as much as you want.
He's gone, finally.
Finally. Hang on, I've just got a little bit at the end. Okay, there we go.
Yes, but Craig of the Creek, I have to say, out of all these Cartoon
I know this show.
Yeah, the Cartoon Network has been as much flack as Cartoon Network gets for its scheduling stuff and release schedules, which totally justified. Oh my goodness, some of their new releases that they've been having, whether it be the newest season of Gumball, which I've been watching a lot of, and they are the most self-aware show ever. OKKO. Everyone's mixed about OKKO's art style, which perfectly justified, but the show gets so good, and I love it. And this show, Craig of the Creek. Yes, this is from some of the storyboard artists for Steven Universe. You can see remnants of the style, but it is such a down-to-earth show. The best way I can describe it is if you took Recess from like the Disney Afternoon, Kids Next Door, and We Bare Bears, mix them together, and then make it a down-to-earth, wholesome show. Because the thing is, this is an era... someone in a YouTube comment actually said, this is why I like this show so much. We live in an age where there's so much animation that's snarky, sarcastic, cynical. That's what they drive upon. This show doesn't have any of that. It's just a happy show. And it's not like, oh, happy random colors. It's like, it just feels good. It's a feel-good show. And I didn't realize how much that's actually been lacking recently till I watched the show, and I just feel good watching it. Basic plot. Craig, who's the character in the middle, is just this young elementary, junior high-ish kid, not stated age, and in the middle of their town, there's a creek, park, foresty area where a bunch of the kids made kind of a little town for themselves that they go to after school or during the weekends and stuff, and they just have little adventures and have fun and...
Breakfast Club.
Yeah, and then he has these two kids, JP and I think the girl with the bird on her head is named Sarah, and Sarah's little pet bird Mortimer, who is the best character in the show, and it's just about them having fun, good times, and Craig's interaction with his family, who he has an older brother and a younger sister. His dad is voiced by Terry Crews.
Yes,
your boy.
Your boy.
I knew he sounded familiar.
And oh yes, yes, Ninja.
I saw one clip of the show, and it kind of sold me on it. I'll probably watch it over the summer when I have time to. It was the one where it was the ending of an episode where they were having some kind of water balloon fight.
Oh and yeah, and it was like, they were having like a steak cookout, and Craig kind of ruined the dinner.
It was a conversation between Craig and his mother at the end of it, where it was just so nice. I won't dare spoil it. Go look it up for yourself. It was just a fantastic moment of dialogue. Parents in cartoons have gotten a lot better recently. Yeah, I can't say they were bad before, but you've got like parents like, well, Craig and from Steven Universe, and now Craig's parents from this show, and they're just really nice and wholesome and lovely, and they're the kind of people who I'll grow up to be. If it's one problem I do have with the show, it's that it remnants with the inconsistent art style of Steven Universe too. Is that with that screenshot that you've got up there with the ginger kid? What is with his like face?
I know he's the weirdest.
Very long face.
He's the weirdest designed character. I will admit that, but I think they do have kind of an in-canon explanation is that he's an out-of-town person, so he's supposed to look weird.
Okay, I get that, right. But there's some things about having a consistent art style with like the eyes and the proportions of the face. Like look at like Craig's face compared to look at Craig's eyes compared to his eyes. Like,
I can see
they're so small. Like I don't know.
I can't help but think when I look at JP is that line that Norm says in Fairly Odd Parents when he's talking to Crocker, being like, "That thing on your neck, is that your ear?" But
no, it's his second mouth.
But no,
he turns his head, and there's just an extra one there.
Yeah, the clip that sold me on the show, and I watched a lot of them, was that Craig was visiting his grandparents, and it was just all charming. Like, Craig's grandfather is trying to figure out what's eating the stuff in his garden. He's like, oh, we're going to have a project. And there was just little moments like Craig's older brother making cookies with his grandma and the grandfather passing by the hallway to do the project with Greg, but he stops in the kitchen to say, hello, beautiful, to his wife. And the grandma's like, you're fresh. And I'm like, this is just so charming. It's
wholesome
disgusting.
Memes.
And it's just
that's really cute.
I think like if you like We Bare Bears, you'll also like this show because those are the two most, even though one's about talking bears in San Francisco, They're both really
As you do.
grounded shows, but this one's even more grounded, and it's very refreshing after so many bombastic shows like OKKO and Steven Universe and Adventure Time and stuff. So I highly recommend watching this show when it comes.
You know,
when you
the one thing that I like about this premise, or at least how you're selling me on it, is that there's so many shows that are getting dark and edgy when before what made them really good was that they were just happy. Like Steven Universe. Okay, to be fair, Steven Universe only got interesting when it started doing the outer space stuff. But I think back to Star and the Forces of Evil, which started out as a really fun, really happy show. And then, like, I believe it's this last season where they started introducing, I can't remember his name, but he's this really edgy kid villain who uses dark spikes and, like, nearly takes over the world, and then... like Meteora and stuff like that. Like, it just went from really nice and happy to a sudden, like, tonal shift into dark and edgy, and it just... no, leave that outside, please.
I don't mind...
The argument that I have with that is that they did have hints of it in season 1 where they pointed out, yeah, humans were kind of terrible to monsters, but they didn't transition into the idea of, let's talk about tolerance and stuff like that, and discrimination. They kind of just hit you like a brick wall instead of going into
it was the same with the Pony Show. Like, the Pony Show, just out of nowhere for the season finale, pulled out the Pony of Shadows, which was the most edgiest, like, over-the-top thing I've ever seen.
Phil
and instead
Newton
of actually making...
angry.
Yeah, they gave him a tragic backstory, which wasn't tragic at all, and they expected us to feel sorry for him and that he should be reformed. Like, that I really didn't like. So, yeah, I'm glad that shows like this, like Craig in the Creek, exist still. Something that's just happy.
Yeah,
and that enjoys being happy.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Like, I watch cartoons... because I want to be happy.
Yeah, I'm just really happy that there's this wave of cartoons that had their pilots around the same time, which is like Craig of the Creek, Infinity Train, 12 Forever and stuff. And they're all getting their own things. Like Infinity Train's getting a series, 12 Forever's going on Netflix, Craig of the Creek is here, and I'm like, thank goodness. Just because the release schedules are dying doesn't mean cartoons are dying, and I'm so happy. Also, yeah, the girl's name is Kelsey, and I love her. And I love her bird, because Mortimer is a cute... that thing is always on its head. I love it. But, yeah, that was my media. Craig of the Creek. Boop.
Nice.
And welcome back, Ninja, to Drinking Piss.
Hey.
But, Emerald, what about your media? Because, oh my goodness, I know what you're talking about, and ooh, I'm happy to hear.
Yeah. So, those of you who have seen my ugly mug before on this show, you might know that last time I was here, I talked about a good movie. And in fairness, you know,
Was that the free billboards on Missouri? Outside Missouri?
3 billboards outside of Missouri, yeah.
Yeah, so that won so many Oscars.
Yeah, 2. It's the 2 that it won were very well deserved.
For a small indie film? Yeah.
I am of the controversial opinion that it should have won Best Original Screenplay.
I agree.
You win
movie?
some, you lose some.
What movie?
3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri was the one I talked about last time.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
really good.
I zoned out for a second. I zoned out for a second because the chat's now hell bent on every time they want to get my attention, they yell at my name in all caps.
Key, pay attention to us, Key.
Anyway, your movie, which, by the way, I found a great picture to encapsulate this movie, and it is that.
Yay, we're that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Truth or Dare, the movie while I'm
Ninja,
here.
I love your
Oh my
face
god.
now.
That seems like a photoshopped image of like.
That's like someone's rape
It's
face.
so
like what the
photoshopped.
hell?
Oh my!
It is so. Oh my god! Like, lads, it's actually ridiculous. Like, there's.
Oh my lord!
So me being, you know, someone who, you know, it's like studies like film and shit like in university, we go and see a lot of movies, and there's good movies that are out right now. You know, Infinity War is coming out soon. A Quiet Place is out. Love, Simon is out, which I hear has made everybody who I know cry, and I kind of want to see it too. But no, we went to see Truth or Dare, and I haven't actually had this much fun watching a bad movie in quite a long time. Like one that just like where we're all sober, just at the back of the theater, just taking the absolute piss out of every single thing that goes on in this bloody movie. So like, you know, it's dumb horror movie, basic premise. The kids all like a bunch of teenagers on their you know, spring break or whatever. They all go to Mexico. Last night there, they find this old creepy like chateau or church or whatever the fuck it was.
What was that?
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Hey, we're talking about horror. We're talking about a horror movie, right? This actually works well. Preface. That's my notification sound as someone subscribes to my YouTube channel. And I have that on the other presentation for my other live stream, and I thought I muted it. Well, I guess I didn't. So
keep it, please keep it. For this, just please keep it.
Yeah, you do. You talk. Hopefully, no one else is going to do that. So
please do it.
Proceed.
So yeah, these kids all go to Mexico. They find this like rundown church. They play a game of Truth or Dare while they're inside of it, and then they return home and they realize that, as you do, they find out that some evil spirit has like possessed the concept of the game.
Okay, I guess.
I don't know. The spirit asks them, you know, like Truth or Dare, and they have to do what it tells them, or it possesses them and it kills them. And yeah, hilarity ensues. But it's really strange because like it's a film that like while we were watching it, we were predicting what it was that they were going to say, and it was just like it was really off while we were sitting there. Like my friend who was sitting next to me, it was after the first time that, you know, Ray P. McGee over here like pulled that face, and he goes and he turns to me and he just goes like, that just looks like some weird Snapchat filter. Not 20 seconds later, the main character goes, it was like they had some weird Snapchat filter on their face. And we looked at each other like, something is very wrong here for predicting
that's either some amateur writing or some Dream Daddy prediction shit going on there.
No. Okay. It's not as much a Snapchat filter. Remember like the old Rage comics?
Yeah, that's a troll face right there.
That's a new form. That, you know, the early days of meme where they would just take a picture and make a Rage comic face out of it. That would be one of them.
I'm not too well versed on like my old memes. You're gonna have to like flood my messages with just like tons of those later to like get.
I could make that face in Photoshop using just the liquify tool. And when I was looking up pictures for this movie, there was more than just that. Even the movie poster has like a skull with an unnatural smile. Like, I don't get this.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. I don't have the little spoiler screen GIF thing. I didn't put that into this presentation, but I don't.
Oh, should we just preface it?
Just don't give a spoiler, but
spoilers. It's a movie.
Is this like a disease that they do this, or is it a cult or something?
No, it's basically like it's something that only the characters can see, and that's supposed to be the spirit like talking to them.
Oh,
it's like,
no, it's bye man logic.
Basically, yeah, and it, like I never saw Bye Man, but like I'm assuming that it's like movie. It's stupid. Yeah, it's just a stupid, like there's a ton of just like dumb just like stuff that happens in that, like they go to like talk to somebody who's encountered the same thing, and they're like, make a fake Facebook profile. It's okay. They won't be able to like, you know, track us if it's not us. And then the cops are talking to them later like, yeah, we tracked your IP address. And we're all just fucking all face palming at the back of the theater. There's like a bit. There's like a bit like towards the end of the movie where like this is really a spoiler, but like characters are like watching a video and they're supposed to be in London, and it cuts to a wide, and it's like really obvious that they just green screened Big Ben and the bridge behind them. Like you can kind of see the keying a little bit.
I thought you were gonna do it. I thought you were gonna say they did what they did with Gem and the Holograms and just get Google Earth to do the shot down.
No. They have some standards, dear. Some standards, just not a lot. But it's, you know, like just kind of dumb, bro-y kind of. Yes. Obviously, so you can't see like Ninja's face right now.
Exactly,
but he's just
that's what I'm preparing for. Continue.
like really dumb bro-y characters who just like, just dumb dialogue, all that kind of thing. But like, we were just having fun, just in the back, just like roasting this thing. But I bring it up because post fact, what was interesting about it was all of us kind of talking about how we would kind of do it differently. Because to give it some credit, I do think that it's kind of an interesting premise, or it could be something that would be a cool idea. It's just done in like a really dumb, really like amateurish kind of like the most cliche route every like street and alleyway through it. So it's an interesting one to just like kind of for me anyway to talk about, to say, well, how would you do it differently? Would you like say just have it be from the demon's perspective and just make a movie about a demon just screwing with a bunch of kids and how it's having fun, or like keep the same idea, like kind of write better dialogue around it, write more kind of scary scenarios? It's kind of like another thing that like was in this movie is that I saw another movie before this one, which was Ghost Stories, and like it's just interesting to compare like how one horror movie handles its scares to how another horror movie handles its scares, between building tension and all that kind of. Sorry, really quick, you can't see him right now, but he is like. He's like fishless, like right in front of me.
Should I reveal or?
Yeah, go ahead. His face is.
Lord!
His face. That's the real face that you see before you die. That's way scarier than anything.
Okay, I'm going back.
Continue.
Yes.
That is much more appealing right now than anyone who in that chat who found you mildly attractive just jumped out the window.
Just left, yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone. Now you know the horrible truth.
Oh, poor Sirowan. He was like, oh my god almighty.
You see what you do to the lovely people at home, British. You like.
I like to bring the fun. I like to bring
you bring something. I'll give you that much.
You do bring a certain je ne sais
Oh, well,
quoi.
you know what? ANY still thinks you're sexy, and that's all that matters.
Hey.
Love and adoration of ANY. And in the end, isn't that what all of us want?
I mean, sure. But was that all you had to say about the movie, or?
Basically, yeah, just like it's dumb, it's stupid. If you want to like just go with a bunch of friends and just like roast a really bad movie, there's plenty to roast in it, and in that regard, I kind of would say it's worth seeing once just to see how dumb it actually is. But like for a creative exercise, I just thought it was like fun to talk about it post fact, and like see all the little things that kind of went wrong and how you could do them kind of better, comparing it to other horror movies. All that kind of thing that, I don't know, film people with way too much time on their hands and no social lives do.
Oh, no, it sounds like a very interesting... It is a good exercise to do. I think I did that with the movie Unfriended when I watched it, because...
That's another one that I would actually quite like to...
Unfriended had a great concept, but terrible execution. Like, the concept...
Looking at just, like, someone's Skype window the entire time. It's like if we made a movie of the Awkward Cast and it was just this. Like, and that's all that you saw.
Oh no, I'm being killed!
Like, the ways that they were killed too was just kind of dumb. Like,
yeah.
Like, oh no! The guy who inexplicably has a blender near his desk is getting his arm eviscerated in it, and that kills him. I'm sorry, but an arm being eviscerated wouldn't kill you. It would just hurt like hell.
I mean, like, you'd bleed out after a while.
Yeah, but he immediately died.
Yeah, that would immediately kill you.
It was a magic blender.
Oh, yeah, I mean, also, the movie could have...
Will it blend? My god, it does.
Like, I'm not going to spoil the movie, but the ending was like, okay, this could have been at least a decent ending, but then they just do... They even ruin the ending of their own movie before they go to credits. Like, the last 5 seconds of the movie is a letdown. Like, like, okay, but yeah, so, oh my goodness, that should be the Awkward Halloween special.
Oh, actually, wait, there was one more thing that I wanted to say, just like in relation to this, just like about the dialogue. Okay. It was kind of one of those things how, like how in a decent movie, if like two characters are brothers, like the movie won't say that they're brothers. Like one character will just say, "Oh,
yeah.
Mom wants you to pick up something from the shop." This, like, immediately at the start, it goes, "Now listen, you know, but you're my best friend, and we've been together for like the last 15 years. But if we're gonna make this summer vacation work, it's like, yeah. Next.
Give me that exposition.
It's tasty. Oh, it's so tasty exposition.
Oh,
Like,
that is awful. But if we find the AWKWARDCast movie, it's a lot more entertaining. You know, you could donate to our Kickstarter.
I'd make the AWKWARDcast movie.
What about the AWKWARDcast movie?
Money.
Okay, we'll do Ninja's Media, and then we'll do Ninja's Media. And before we get to questions, I want to come up with a good idea for the AWKWARDcast movie.
Let's do it.
So we'll put a pin in that. But let's bring back that handsome, mildly more handsome face. And Ninja, you have a very special media that you didn't give me a link to show the trailer.
I did. Check your PMs, girl.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. Do that. I'm a liar.
Yeah, so I think you'll maybe try doing
your PMs right this second.
I don't know if I can do that with this setup.
Okay. Well, we'll do it like this anyway to give you time to figure out, because I have multiple bits of media that I want to show off, because I view multiple bits of media.
Well, you could probably do screen share for it.
That might work too. We'll figure it out. So the first bit of media that I'd like to show off is this little indie thing that I've been getting really into recently. It's called Hamilton. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it, but I think it's pretty okay.
Thing. Please tell us more.
I've been listening to a lot of that recently, and I was just blown away by how cool it is, and I was even more blown away by how long it took me to actually watch Hamilton, or at least the music that goes alongside it and stuff like that. The second, actually, you know what? Nah, I won't do the second bit of media because we got a limited amount of time. Only a limited amount of hours. The video that I sent you, Keyframe, I don't know if it'll work properly in the streaming format, is a demo of the game that I have just, finished. I was the animator on a small indie game called Spuds and Spells.
Try putting it in the group chat. That'll be easier for me to pull up than this.
Okay, so this is my final project, I guess, for my first year of University of Games Design. Essentially, we were all broken up into little teams, and I was the team animator, because that is my speciality. I was also the team voice actor, because no one knows how to do voice acting. So I'm actually in the game, which is a bit weird. And I was also, did a lot of the 3D models and stuff like that.
Okay, I just need to make this smaller, and then
is sound working?
Yeah. I mean, it will pick up my desktop sound, so you guys may not hear it, but I will, and the chat will.
Okay.
So I will put it over my face.
Professionalism, everybody.
Hey, I didn't get a link to put this stuff in, so.
That's okay. That is my own bad. I was rendering it as you started the call.
Oh, that explains a lot. So let me just wait. I need to make sure that the sound is up, and let's check out this demo.
Hello, my name is Rob Fitzpatrick, and today I'm going to be showing you.
Oh wait, okay. There's going to be an echo if that happens.
All the features.
There we go.
Spuds and spells.
Maybe just a bit. Also, they know your name.
Yeah, my name is Rob Fitzpatrick,
Spuds
everybody.
and Spells is a tower defense farming simulator game where you must defend your home from never-ending waves of enemies. Here we see the player use the radio menu to access the building tools. This allows them to construct their defenses, such as walls and towers. Building defenses costs currency, with some defenses being more expensive than others.
What is this refund magic you speak of?
Farming and then selling your crops
the zombie?
is the only
Where's the
way
zombies?
to gain
Where's
the
the battle
currency
royale,
you need
man?
in order to build your defenses.
I want to make a battle royale game.
First till the land by selecting
where's the
the hoe on the
microtransactions?
farming radial menu.
But yeah,
then they must
the
plant
game is
seeds
essentially
they
like
want to
a
grow,
tower defense
and finally
game.
water it. Keep in mind that water dries.
So you did the animation for it, or?
I did all the animations, all the rigging and skin weighting and all that sorts. I did some of the modeling. I made the main character model and did the UVs and stuff like that. I did a main bit of the writing as well. We did have a writer on set.
Oh,
but,
look at those bloods!
Can engage the enemies
oh yeah, the blood explosions. They're fun.
Or by hitting them with their scythe.
So you like wrote the script for like all the some of the characters.
I did most of the script. Yeah, the whole point of the game is essentially to mix a tower defense
I fast forwarded to a great part.
Yeah, a tower defense game and a farming simulator, that kind of deal. But it's really good. It's really fun. Like most small project games, you get about 10 minutes of playtime out of. I was playing this game for like a solid hour, and I made it. Like it's.
This is amazing.
It is super fun. I don't know if we're gonna release it like on Steam, but we're gonna talk about it.
I mean,
I'd buy it.
So you guys made all of your assets? You didn't just get them from Unity or anything like that? Or?
No, we made our assets. We essentially how our course works is we're broken into a team where we have a team animator, a team 3D guy, a programmer, a designer, an artist, that kind of deal. And we all just essentially are a mini indie team. We're called Team Terabyte.
I love the fact that the blood is just little squares. I just love that.
Oh, it's great.
Player's house.
But yeah, so I guess
God damn it! I lost my shirt.
Wait, what?
How did you lose that shirt? It's like a prized possession. Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing technical difficulties while British Ninja.
Team T-shirts like around.
According to ANY, it's Farmville. Yeah, Farmville with blood.
Yeah, it's Farmville mixed with tower defense. We have our team T-shirt and our logo, Team Terabyte.
Oh,
that's a lot
cute.
of fun.
Is that a little head crab on the computer?
I think it's like a tiger. Hang on, how would I?
Oh, without seeing the bottom part of it, it looked like a head crab.
It did. No, I mean like it did.
But yeah.
Shut up and take my money.
Cool.
Oh well,
That's been the main bit of media recently. It's just been absolutely just stressful making all the stuff for the game, trying to figure out how it works.
Well, Ninja. If you guys do release it, you have the best way to plug it on the famous exclusive gaming show, Gaming in Ties.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
it's funny. I have the final build of the game. We could play the game on stream if you wanted to, but it's not released.
Oh damn.
But yeah. So was
an
that
AWKWARDCast exclusive?
Was that all of your medias?
Aside from me just self-plugging my own animations, I suppose so. Again, I'm going to be honest, I haven't watched much media recently. I haven't even watched the new Pony stuff, just because, like, I've just been so, like, stressed and overworked on making my own, I suppose.
No, if it makes you feel better,
no, it happens, man.
I haven't had the time to watch the horse program either.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
Horse show is weird. Although, I guess...
we're all very here.
Semi-related to media, we are going to try and bring back the, Round Table is Magic cast, but we're going under a new name. The name we put up to a straw poll, but everyone in the straw poll is wrong, and we're right. So, you know what? We're just calling it what we want to call it anyways, because we're right. And we're going to call it the Nitpickers podcast.
Yeah, yes. There'll be more information about that later. But now we have to do the important thing.
Oh,
what would an AWKWARDCast movie be about?
Okay, so
of course, we're coming up with this idea when ANY's not here, because it's not like he has a say in all this, but he's also very uncreative. So
are we just going to exclude ANY from the main cast?
No, he'll still be in the main cast. It's just that he's not going to have he's only an actor. He's only an actor.
Okay, so you and ANY are the two main characters. You are getting yourselves like prepped for actually setting up the cast itself.
Mm-hmm.
You have one English guy and one dashingly handsome Irishman on as your
Okay. I'm liking this.
From there on in, where could we go from there on in? Let's spitball some ideas.
No, okay, how about this? It's the AWKWARDCast, and we're trying to get a guest. But every guest that we book dies.
Yes.
So, and they die in really weird fashions, like a blender.
Oh.
But
I feel like the AWKWARDCast quest
cannot speak today.
Movie would I cannot speak. I'm 5-siders then. Oh yeah, I was. Look. I'm not gonna lie, I did have quite a few drinks before we started.
You did drink Malibu rum on cast, so.
Oh no, I'm gonna be honest. After I finished the game, I have downed my sorrows and joyfuls in alcohol for the past, 48 hours. I've just been typing and drinking. That has been my life. I suppose. Sorry, to get back onto topic. The Awkward Cast movie.
Awkward Quest would be the name of the movie.
The Awkward Quest would be you guys trying to get one single guest that you've, it's Barack Obama or something like that. Just a guest that's so far, beyond actual expectation. Who would be the most important person that you think you would want to have on Awkward Cast?
See, the thing is, on our list of people, it is Barack Obama because fucking everyone thinks I can get Barack Obama when I can't. But we already got Jesse, so it's how do you go higher from there?
Yeah, you are on a quest to get Barack Obama on Awkward Cast, and you are on this semi-espionage movie where you track him down.
Are we trying to kidnap Obama?
Every single time you get close, some shenanigans happen and you don't get Obama.
See, I like the idea of it being a murder mystery, where it's everyone who's supposed to be a guest on the Awkward Cast dies, and it's up to the hosts and the veteran awkward guests to try to solve the mystery.
What if there's a hacker in the chat, and the hacker is blowing up some of the guests' computers to kill them?
Oh my goodness! It's like a suit.
Is this anonymous? Is this the 4chan?
And then we can have crossovers where the Awkward Cast finds out that every popular podcast, which we are not, is part of a giant spy espionage organization with co-optional and Cox and Crendor and stuff, and it's
it spins off into loads of different movies, like the podcast multiverse.
It's
for
the podcast
Marvel.
cinematic universe.
That sounds like a cinematic
Jesus
franchise.
Christ.
The podcast cinematic universe.
That's
Everything's
so
a
dumb.
cinematic universe.
But
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some food. I'll be right back.
Okay, but we're creating great ideas here. When you come back, we'll do questions. But no, it's it could be like Kingsman.
You could do crossovers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do crossovers, us. Jesse Cox has a podcast, right?
Cox and Crendor, yes.
The Game Grumps sometimes do a podcast. You could just
No, I'm agreeing. I'm yeah, this is a good idea.
Just grab anybody and everybody from all over the internet who just runs a podcast and slowly connect them all together. Just at the end of every movie, credits run, and then someone comes in at the end, like Nick Fury or something. Just I'm putting together a team, and then all of them get together and they fight. And they fight I don't know, the robot in YouTube's headquarters or something who demonetizes videos, and he's the villain of the main massive first crossover. And he's sending little robots after you guys, and someone's got a bow and arrow, and someone has Sombra from Overwatch. They're just hacking shit and blowing everything up.
Oh man, I love this idea more and more. This is the spy cool Kingsman version. Now we need a version where we all somehow get superpowers.
We can make it happen.
We find the podcast stones. They're like the Infinity Stones, but not, so we can't get copyright infringement.
But they're all in the shape of popular symbols from the internet. One's the troll face, one is one's the troll face, one is I don't know, help me out here.
The Internet Explorer symbol, and the power is to slow things down.
AOL. No. One of them is either AOL or Internet Explorer, and it's the most ancient of ancient stones.
I mean, why not? With the AOL one, it just lets out this sonic, Black Canary-esque noise. That's the modem connecting.
Time for you to meet your doom, and it opens up, and then their heads all explode.
The ANY would probably have the troll face one. For some reason, I'm imagining them like Captain Planet rings, and it would just be he could make multiple. No, the meme one would just be he could make multiples of himself.
Oh God, I think that if there was more than one A and if there was one more A and Y, in order for the universe to remain stable, a whole other universe would need to implode into a black hole.
He has to come back together, or else he'll destabilize, and all the A and Ys will be gone. Because and that would be his cool, like, trailer one-liner, is that, yeah, there could be any one, or something like that, being like, there's only one.
And then it just, like, smash cuts, like, the title.
Yeah, and then it's just like, man, I don't know how this can get worse. Well, I don't know if it can get worse. And then suddenly there's a giant monster, but it will get awkward. Dun, 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 dun.
2020.
I want this movie. This is a great... It needs to be like a micro-budget film, too. It can't be anything... It has to be like most bare minimum.
I'm gonna do something really stupid right now. It's just like...
what, are you gonna make a Kickstarter page?
That too. I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna direct it. I'm gonna write it with, I don't know, everybody else who's here. Mm-hmm. But I'm also gonna do this. I don't know if it's gonna get worse, but it is gonna get awkward.
Oscar-nominated film, sleeper hit, Sundance Film Festival.
Oh wait.
This is
winner of Oscars.
We came up with the best movie idea. We can't add more to it. And Ninja's not back yet. So we'll just, we're going to answer some questions while we're waiting for him. Enigma Royal Prince asks, what is the worst joke that you've ever heard? Oh, Ninja, welcome back. You're my answer.
Perfect timing.
Hey, I'm back. What did I miss?
We just got to questions, and we created... Yeah, and we created the greatest movie of all time.
Oh. What was it?
It was the AWKWARDCast movie, where apparently we get the powers of the internet.
Yes. I would be drunk off that power, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's why ANY will have the meme power and not you.
What?
He would be both like drunk off power, but also actually drunk.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like the most inept supervillain ever. It's just like, now I will be able to... Oh, wait, hang on a second.
Would Ninja be like a drunk Thanos? Like, what?
Or a drunk Ultron? There are no strings.
Oh, yummy, you can't.
But we're at questions now. And if people in the chat, because there are some new people, if you want to ask questions, go to Twitter and use the hashtag AskAwkward. And we keep some questions, so if you don't get your question answered here, you'll get it answered another time. But,
I mean, can they type it in the chat?
I have terrible time keeping up with the chat, so the Twitter is just an easier place to keep all of them. But Enigma Royal Prince asks, what is the worst joke that you've ever heard? This podcast.
Total joke.
I don't know. There's a lot of dad jokes out there that I think are awful.
You know.
See, my brain flicked immediately to dad jokes. This doesn't go into like bad joke territory, but when I was younger, I remember distinctly this YouTube channel of these guys who they would get their dad to tell like really dirty jokes, like filth, but they were always really funny. But they'd animate around it, like they'd animate their dad, and then they'd animate the story that went along with the joke. But like, I can't think of like one particular one that was really terrible. Just puns, I'd say, or like.
I got one that I thought I never understood it. Well, I got it, but I never found it funny. I just thought it was dumb.
All right.
Stop me if you've heard this one before. Why did the duck cross the road?
Why?
Oh, I don't know.
To get to the other side.
That's just anti-humor.
That is.
Well,
pretty,
yeah, but it's heralded as this like amazing joke that's like in movies and it's in comics and it's like referenced everywhere. Why did the duck cross the road? Like, I get it's anti-humor, but I never found that funny. I was like, oh, okay.
There's like so many other like anti-humor jokes that are funnier than. Yeah.
Why is that one so popular with the freaking duck crossing the road? It's so stupid. Like, I never understood myself.
It's pretty dumb.
The thing is, most of the jokes that I think that I think are dumb are mostly jokes that I've made.
My life. Can we just put that down?
I'm my life, but it's mostly because I find humor in the lack thereof, and I like more of making people groan and hurt. My humor's in Schadenfreude. One of my favorite ones. This is a bad joke. This is a terrible joke.
I'll brace myself. I'll get the
it's a terrible joke, but the reaction it got was totally worth it. We were playing Heroes of the Storm once, and I think ANY was like, "Oh yeah, who's your daddy?" And I was like, "Not you, because he's dead."
Oh, I remember this. I was like,
and
my God.
Everyone in the chat went really quiet until ANY just kind of broke the silence, like, wow. And I was,
fuck.
It's a terrible joke.
Why would you do that to yourself?
But like, it was bad, but it was worth it.
I come from a country that like laughs at the darkest shit you could possibly imagine, and even I'm like, ooh, ouch, okay.
But
I was shocked and very surprised when you said that. I was like, oh my God.
Wait, were you there?
Yeah, he was there for that. Was there. I think all of our main Heroes of the Storm people were here for that, and they were all with the same reaction of, oh.
Oh, why?
No. It was worth it for that reaction. But
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so
I see #AskNinja. Where did you get the idea for your game from? Well, me and my team, we all kind of sat together. We wanted to talk about the kind of games that we wanted to make. We looked at our scope, which is, you know, how long we have to make the damn thing, or whether or not it's even possible to make that damn thing, you know, in the time limit that we had. And we kept coming back to this idea of this one, like, because tower defense games are fun, of course, but there's some really just fun stuff about, like, one versus the horde. Like, in TF2, where you have wave 666, it's just you alone versus an onslaught of enemies. And we wanted to try and capture that feeling, and we wanted to mix it in with tower defense games that, like, made it more active on the player. Because in Spuds and Spells, like, if you sit back and let your towers do all the work, you're gonna lose. Like, you have to have an active role in defending your towers if you want to survive the waves. And that's the kind of feeling that we want. We wanted a more active tower defense game.
Okay.
So that's where we got the idea from.
It's pretty cool, actually. I think it's crazy, just like out of... This is sentimental Emerald coming out now. That from the time that I met you and like what's it like going to book the first time and just like, you know, just kind of dicking around a little bit to now, like, you know, you're actually making like indie games that you can make money off of, and like I'm, you know, like making movies. Well, but hopefully I'm touching on every bit of wood that I possibly can that like it works out.
So next question, another one from Enigma Prince being like, what are some things that you find stupid in general on a fundamental level, and how do you best tolerate it? That's stupid reference. Don't forget to plug that series. Oh, I'm totally not going to plug the series that is actually hosted on the YouTube channel that this podcast will go on, called That's Stupid, which is written and hosted by ANY and edited by really cool people, especially Apple Odyssey. Do not go check it out and support them. Yeah, no. But things that I find stupid in general and on a fundamental level, I find a lot of things stupid.
I got mine.
I think I have mine too.
First world problems. I find first world problems stupid.
But Key, my nails cost so much and I chipped them.
I have to get my hair done.
I just find those... I think it's less of first world problems are stupid, because everyone has them. I have them. Complaining about them is what I find stupid.
Complaining like they're a genuine loss.
Yeah, complaining like it's a genuine loss, and not acknowledging that it's like, yeah, this kind of sucks and is annoying for me, but hey, it could be worse. The lack of acknowledgement, that's what I find infuriatingly stupid. Yeah. But my best way to tolerate it is just to kind of do what he's doing right now.
Become an alcoholic. That's
my best way to tolerate it is just be like, rationalize as, okay, maybe they are just ignorant and sheltered.
It's like, you know, the world's not going to implode because you had to pay for extra, like, you had to pay a bit extra for overnight shipping from Amazon. Do you know what I mean?
My goodness, this person's trolling me on the internet in the YouTube comments. Oh no, this person on the internet is saying a rumor about me.
That's the sound of shots being fired.
I I don't get it, especially when it comes to the world of the internet, where it's like you have little X buttons right next to the tab.
Yeah.
Like, just turn it off.
Because obviously these people are not brave enough to say it to your face. Why are you giving them the energy expenditure that you are obviously doing? Like, But that's my thing. What about you, Ninja?
Oh, my stupid thing that I hate on a fundamental level is, well, I guess to prerequisite this, you know, I'm an analyst. I review cartoon horses on the internet. And, you know, being an analyst, I watch a lot of reviews. And I watch a lot of critics, and I watch a lot of stuff like that. So, and the thing I hate the most is Rotten Tomatoes and the culture around Rotten Tomatoes. Okay,
like
so
the numerical
no. I agree.
Yes.
I agree with you on this.
Okay,
100%.
so Rotten Tomatoes, of course, is a website where anyone can score something, and I wouldn't be mad at Rotten Tomatoes if it wasn't so popular. Like, people look at Rotten Tomatoes like it's a genuine way of measuring how good something is, and it's not. Because you have 50 bumblefucks who have completely different opinions to you, and they say, oh, well, I think that the combat in this game is good, or I think that this movie is good. Well, who are you? How does your opinion affect mine? Like, when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes, it's so, like, okay, so I guess the best way to describe it would be to look at a singular critic. Let's say Jim Sterling, for example, or insert a critic here. You watch that critic and you take advice from that critic, because not only do you believe in that critic's judgment, but you agree with it in some regards. Like, I watch critics that I tend to agree with because what they like is what I like, if that makes sense. It's taste, you know? Taste is such a versatile thing. So when, like, a new movie comes out, and it gets a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is higher than, like, the most classic movies of all time, like The Godfather and, like, The Lion King and Jaws and Aliens. They get, like, 98%, and that's deserved. But then a new movie will come out, and I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but something like Black Panther will come out, and it will go crazy. It is, like, 99, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. And it's an okay movie. It's a fine movie. But it's not the greatest movie ever made. And because it's such a popularity contest on Rotten Tomatoes, like review scores and stuff like that, I find it so dumb that someone will go to Rotten Tomatoes and say, oh, yes, well, that means it must be good. I haven't seen the movie myself, but millions of screaming voices says it's good, so I'm just going to follow the crowd, not have an opinion. And, yeah, it's obviously a good film, right? It's just, to me, that is fundamentally stupid. Like,
how do you tolerate it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
how do
I had a similar...
I fight against it. That's how I tolerate it. Have your own damn opinions. If you don't like a movie, say you don't like a movie. Find singular critics. I tolerate it, personally, by finding critics who have similar tastes in me. Like Dunkey. Video Game Dunkey's a great example. Jim Sterling and stuff like that. Yeah, just critics who I can understand, form a connection with. So when they say that they don't like a game, I'm like, oh, well, I probably won't like a game because I have similar taste to that critic, you know? If I can connect with them, I can understand where they're coming from and stuff like that. But when it's just a number, it's 57%. What does 57% mean to my enjoyment of a movie? Like, it's a number. It's not an opinion. It's not a well thought out critique. It's just a number. It's a popularity contest, seeing how high we can get that number up to 98%, where apparently it's one of the greatest film of all time. So that's my little rant on review scores and Rotten Tomatoes and how I just hate both of them equally. To Emerald, I suppose.
Yeah,
I was gonna add
about you.
I was actually going to add something to the end of your thing, and then I promise I'll get to mine. It's like, yeah. I think that the review score thing, like it can also, like in one regard, it influences somebody to be like, oh, well, then it must be good. But I think the other effect to that it can have is that, like, for going to a lot of movies and that kind of thing, it can also like influence you a little bit to say, oh well, I'm gonna hate it then if I walk in here because like it has to be fantastic then, like if it's got, you know, like a 98%, and then you walk in and it's like, that's really average. Like what's this? It's like I had a similar reaction to that when I saw... Oh, is the door open? No, the door's not open. I had a similar reaction to that when I saw Lady Bird for the first time. It's like, you know, it's got like all these like high praise, like, oh, best movie of the year, 99% of Rotten Tomatoes, like on Rotten Tomatoes. And then I walk in, I watch it, and I remember turning to my friend and being like, well, that was the most average thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And I mean, like, my opinion of it changed afterwards because like it's a movie that the more I thought about it and the more I looked at it, the more I kind of enjoyed it. But yeah, like giving something like, you know, say a number. This is why I don't like to, you know, like give things a rating or like a percentage rating in general. It just kind of I don't want to say it boxes it off, but it influences, you know, say.
We're in this weird world of top tens and categorization where a number represents an opinion.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But then you'll have people who go, oh, IGN gave this game a 10 out of 10. Well, IGN has a million different like people reviewing games, so if that's in that person's opinion, it's a 10 out of 10 game. That means nothing to you unless you have a personal connection with that critic and agree with that critic on most things regarding taste. That 10 out of 10 from that particular critic could be absolute garbage to you. It's
exactly.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And that's why review scores are terrible, and Rotten Tomatoes can go die.
I think we've had our rant on Rotten Tomatoes. I'll get to my thing.
Get to your
one thing that I just like, I hate doing this every day, and just like one thing that I like just kind of hate on a fundamental level is texting. I really, really hate texting.
Are you using Skype?
No,
that's different. That's different.
No,
I'm with him on this.
Because even though I am not in the same room as you, I have a very good grasp on like what your inflections are, like how like your overall mood, because we are having a conversation right now. If I'm using this and I'm just like typing something to you, all my inflections, everything that I really mean, half of it's lost, like just by sending words to someone.
Emerald, that's what emojis are for.
I know. I'll let his brain melt out of his ear so I can have my rants. I hate the fact that I have to attach an emoji to something for me to just be like, oh, this is how I'm feeling at the moment. It's like, you know, someone in like a little like text group that I'm in says something, and then an argument starts, and then it just goes down. Here, listen, mate, I was only joking. And it's just like things that you like, what you mean. It's lost like through text. It's the death of communication. I actually hate it like just so much. I would rather be sitting in a call like this where we like had a chat and I was able to, you know, like get a read on what everybody was thinking, how, you know, their mood was at the time, because like this tells me nothing unless like, you know, you put in a little ellipses at the end of it. It's like, oh, okay, I probably shouldn't say anything more. Or like, you know, the fact that I feel I have to put an emoji at the end of a text to let the person know that I'm joking. Like, me typing... Can I say the C word on this show?
Yeah.
Okay, me just typing cunts to my friends and nothing at the end of it. It's like, why is he calling me a cunt? But me, like, having to be like, oh, I'll write cunts. Oh, wait, no, they might get, like, upset with me if I call them all cunts. I'll put a lol face at the end of it. Like, that annoys me that I have to do that. Just texting in general, I feel that it annoys me. I hate the fact that I have to do it. Like the inner hipster in me like just like keeps referring to it as like, oh, fucking death of communication here is what you're doing, and just
I think the dungeon master from Wind Waker wants to talk to us. What's up, Ninja?
You know what's funny? Humanity has come full circle since the hieroglyphics, to the point where images now represent emotions again in the form of emojis. Emojis are just modern hieroglyphics, and it's super like interesting when you think of it like that. But yeah, I agree that it's stupid.
Like that, it's so weird.
Yeah.
I can't say much because if you look at like me and A&Y's conversations, like a good 60-70% of it is just emojis.
Jesus Christ.
But it's not that we don't get each other's inflections too, because we've known each other long enough that we know how we talk.
Oh,
we just do it. We just do it, and it makes it a lot. It's just convenience, man. It's not the depth of communication. It's just convenience, God. Stop being such a hipster.
You're so old, Emerald. I'm the youngest one here.
That voice did not fit my face at all, and it was creepy. Because I've always done that voice, but I've never looked at myself while doing that voice.
And now you have that image forever.
Oh my God. It's terrifying.
Please. No.
But that's what would thank you for the question. Now here's a question from Denim Ninja. If Keyframe is a tomato, what does that make British Ninja and Emerald? That makes it fuck you. That's what
emojis. No, hang on. Let's figure this out.
Okay.
It has to be a vegetable.
Potato.
No, it just says what does that make you to?
Hang on there a second.
I am a bottle of ketchup, thank you very much. I'm not round enough to be a tomato.
Look. No. Emerald is a potato because that's all Irishmen eat. True story, by the way. When I went over to Ireland for the first time in my life to for BronyCon and stuff like that, the man fed me potatoes and cheese. Like, can confirm they only eat potatoes in Ireland.
I am a bottle of ketchup.
And you know what's funny? He didn't hear that, which is
potatoes
really funny.
And cheese.
Yes.
No, because I'm going to see the recording of this afterwards, and I'll know what you said. And when I see you again in person, then I can hit you, and it'll be fun.
Someone in the chat says Emerald is broccoli. It does kind of work, given your hair. My
plumage here, yeah.
Yes.
Quite nice, quite full,
now,
quite
what
out.
are you? I would say you're a carrot.
Really?
You are
very ginger. Like how your hair is right now is like semi brighter than like what mine used to be. Like I used to be very ginger.
Bye, Denim.
Like
thank you for such a great question.
That is a very. Now we're asking the real questions.
Now here's a question that ANY asked. This is a question that I think I need to take care of. What would be your elevator pitch for a crack ship between the other two members of today's show? Well, you know, if you had to ask me. Hold on. There we go.
Whoa, jeez.
What?
Imagine, if you will, star-crossed lovers from between an actual body of water. So close yet so far. A schism caused by religion, by faith. Stay tuned for the love story of a generation of the Catholic and the Protestant. There you go. That was my romantic movie trailer for these two.
I think we can scrap the awkward quest idea. And just go with that. That's
a much better movie, I believe.
That's where the Oscars are.
Yeah, I have to say, you know, that is a great idea, but it was a little bit awkward.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The meme has seen on this live stream and talk about random crap. It's time for AWKWARDcast. Random guests and funny gags is the AWKWARDcast. Artists and analysis. You do not want to miss the AWKWARDcast. It's the AWKWARDcast.